This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another Farming Simulator 22 Map First Impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Backroads County. But before that, this video is brought to you by Bad Habit 99 and Jamberry. Thank you for being farm barons. So Backroads County, or I like to always want to call it Backroads Country. But Backroads County can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu. And as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Let's read the description. Welcome to Backroads County, a fictional USA Canadian-inspired map placed out in the backroads of the farming industry. There you will find 5 pre-built farms surrounded by farmland and forestry. Take over the farm of your choice or build your own. All farms are 100% customizable, and I can confirm you can sell absolutely everything at each farm location. The map includes 5 pre-built, fully customizable farms, 2 custom cow pastures, a BGA, line by point, woodland for forestry, sawmill, 33 fields. Now, the description says 7 productions, but really there are 8. And I think that some folks just kind of forget that the BGA is technically a production facility. We have also, this map is ready for precision farming. For that, let's go ahead and load on in. And we are going to use the mods that we typically use when we take a look at maps. That is additional field info, additional game settings, field lease, field calculator, and precision farming. We'll go ahead and load up the log. And if you load this map up in Farm Manager or start from scratch, you will find the main farm and all the other farms pre-built. The only exception is that you do not have any land ownership, nor do you have any machinery at the start. But all of the farms are going to be exactly how they're going to appear here in New Farmer mode. Let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA. And we'll zoom on out. And we have all types of various fields. A lot of them are rectangular-ish or square-ish. There's some odd-shaped fields, but a lot of them have fairly squared-off corners. Now, we do have all the standard crop types available to us here on Farm Sim 22. And if we take a look at the lands area, we'll see that we start out by owning fields 19, 20, and the main farm here. This composes 20 acres of land, $202,000. Now, there are 5 pre-built farms on this map. This is just one of those. There's another pre-built farm up here to the northwest. And boy, does it hold a lot of land. 128 acres to buy this farm, and it is $1.3 million. Over here to the east, we have another pre-built farm, 43 acres in size, $440,000. Down here to the southwest, we have another farm, 142 acres in size, and it is $1.4 million. And then down here to the south, we have another pre-built farm. It is 13 acres in size, and it's going to cost you $136,000. Now, we have a biogas plant, which is down here with all of the other industrial areas, and it is 21 acres in size, and it can be bought for $214,000. And then there is the sawmill that is right here for $215,000. But pretty much everything on the map can be bought, with the exception, stand corrected. You can also buy the unbuyable land, which includes the shop and all of the road networks, for $382,000. Let's go ahead and take a look at our farmland lease screen. And the farmland lease screen is used to show us the farm lands, what field or fields are associated with that particular farmland, how big the buyable farmland is in hectares, and then how much that farmland is going to cost. We're going to then kind of cross-reference the farmlands with the buyable fields, and then see how big the fields are. You can also then extrapolate out how much field space is in the farmland or how much farmland is used up by the fields. And then ultimately, if it will be worth buying or if the field is basically fairly small for the cost of the farmland. We have our field calculator. This is going to show us the size of the specific fields in hectares as compared to the farmlands for which these fields are associated with. Now let's go ahead and take a look and see how the precision farming soil map is applied to Backroads County. Now, while the description said this map included precision farming or had precision farming support, this map is not using a custom soil map. This is the generic soil map that is included with the precision farming mod. And as you can see, it's got a good swath of loamy sand, sandy loam, and loam toward the middle of the map. As we get to the north and the south, and then the extreme east and west, we do have a bit of silty clay creeping in there with a fair bit of field 22, 23, 15, 14, 31, and 18 being composed of silty clay. We take a look at our crop counter. You can see that we do have what appears to be the generic crop counter available to us here in Farm Sim 22. And if we take a look at our prices screen, you will see that we do indeed have multiple sell points for the bulk of our crops that we can plant and grow here on the map. We also have sell points for eggs, wool, and milk, as well as wood chips, silage, hay, straw, and grass. Now, when we get down here to our production areas, we're going to run into a little bit of problem fairly early on. That is, we do not have the ability to sell fabric. Now, the redeeming aspect of this is we do have the ability to sell clothes. So if you have sheep and you put down a spinnery, right, you can make fabric, and then you can put down the tailor shop to make the clothing. A spinnery is not pre-placed on the map. And then as we move down, we're going to be fairly good for the most part, but we also run into an issue when it comes down to chocolate. So we also do not have the ability to sell chocolate. Now we do have a dairy on the map. We don't have the ability to sell chocolate. We do have the ability to buy bulk lime, and we also have a stone crusher pre-placed on the map. If you take a look at our vehicle overview, you can see that we do own all of our machinery at the start. None of it is leased in. All of it is at 0 hours and well maintained. We do have some animal areas. Now, I've gone ahead and taken the liberty of buying all the other farms while I was waiting for the soil map to populate. So you can see that on the map, we have the large cow barn, 2 cow pastures, a medium-sized cow barn, then we have another cow pasture, another cow barn, and then a large sheep barn. So we've got a lot of cow areas, and the main farm here has the sheep pen. We do have contracts available on this map, and we do not own any production chains at the start. And this map does include 100 Elm Creek collectibles, and I'll give you a hint, you're going to find them all over the 5 playable farms and probably some other areas on the map. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our starting fleet. We start out with the Massey Ferguson 8S205 as well as the Massey Ferguson 3670 medium tractors. We have the Case Magnum 340 CVX drive for our large tractor. We have the Mack Superliner 6x4 semi that is paired up with the Pacesetter semi trailer. And we have the Axleflow 9250 harvester that is paired up with the 45-foot Terraflex Draper grain header. We have the 1986 pickup truck. We also have the Rudolph TDK 301 RA trailer. We have the PW112 Cumberland plow. We have the K12200 cultivator. We have the Kuhn S-Pro 6000 RC seeder. We then have the Dalbo Power Roll 1230 HD roller. Then we're going to round it all out with a 1,500 kilogram AGCO weight. Take a look at our mods and DLCs. You'll see that this map does not include any custom vehicles or implements. And, well, let's sit back, take a little bit of a breather break, and take a look here at the main farm. The main farm does include a sleep trigger here at the farmhouse. As I said, everything at the main farm and all the other farms can be sold, including the house, the lights, the solar panels. We have ourselves a 3-bay garage, including power washer. Our base game farm silo with our dump and fill points. We have a silage bunker. Trigger pops up for that. We have our sheep area, standard base game sheep area. That's going to hold 65 sheep. And then we have the standard base game cow barn. That's going to hold 45 cattle. And I don't think we really need to go into a whole lot of detail as to where all of these triggers are for these base game animal areas. Then around the side, we do have a manure heap here at this cow barn. That is pretty much the main farm. We're going to get around to the other 5 farms during the drive around. We will take an aerial look at them right soon as we get ready for our flyover, but really the bulk of the drive around is going to be spent taking a look at the sell points, production areas, and the 4 other playable farms. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of altitude as we are facing to the north. And we'll do our 360 rotation. Let's go counterclockwise this time. So there we've got one of the other playable farms off in the distance. Now the map has some very nice rolling hills. In fact, I really like field 21 here. It's one of the larger fields on the map, and the grove of trees here is in a lull. It's in a dip in the field, and you can just imagine the trees are there because, well, that's where the water all kind of ran down, and just that was the more moist area, and as a result it was fairly well, ripe and ready for tree growth. So we've got a grove of trees down there kind of at the bottom. Now just across this forested area, which we do have a pond in the middle of it, we have another playable farm. Continue to look down to the south. We have a playable farm way off in the distance. We just can't quite see it over there. We have our animal dealer, and then way off in the distance on the other side of that far tree line, we have our town area, which includes all of our production. And then we have a final player farm directly across from the starting farm to the east. Now, something else to note is these wind generators are sellable. So that means they are buyable. Now, I haven't looked to see if this is going to generate us any money. I haven't really looked to see if the solar panels at the main farm are going to generate us any money. But I will tell you, we do have the ability to sell these windmills, which somewhat implies that we're going to have the ability to buy these windmills if we buy the appropriate land for which they are associated. And down here we have one of the player farms. A small cow pasture down there. Lower, kind of see how the land undulates, feels low. Tree lines. I really like this map. It just feels very natural. Did have the privilege of doing an early access look at this map. We did a live stream taking a look at the map. It was very well received from the viewers, and I think people are going to be very happy to get an opportunity to play this map and explore it in a bit more. We've got our sawmill down here. And then the rest of our production is going to be kind of here along Main Street. Production row. And we've got these really awesome custom signs. Some rotate, they all light up for all of these production and sell points. So we've got our cereal factory or oil mill. Our biomass heating plant. We have our carpentry. We have our bakery. We have our dairy. We have our BGA. And then off in the distance, we have our grain mill. Overall, there are 8 production sites built into the map. The BGA, the bakery, the carpentry, the cereal, the dairy factory, an oil mill, a grain mill, and a sawmill. Got 2 sell points down here. We are going to give the map a full point with respect to having production built in. We've got our lime buy point. We have a grain sell point. We have our farmer's market sell point. We have our fuel station. And then along this road, we have a custom cow pasture that is included with farmland that is a part of Field 9. This cow pasture can be sold if you own that particular field. Then we have an arable farm here. No animals are included, although the proximity to the cow pasture here that's part of Field 9, and it does lend itself nicely to this possible farm. And then I have to say, this is probably my favorite farm area. I don't know, kind of like how it's coming off the road. We got the pole there. We've got the kind of guardrail that's been put around these large boulders. Got the road that's kind of coming across the top of the hillside here. We have a custom cow pasture to the left. We have our farmhouse to the right. And then we have all of our farm buildings. Then all of the farm buildings have different sidings. These are all base game buildings. And remember, you can change the color of the sides on all of these buildings. So it gives each farm kind of its own unique look. We've got our grain silo, and oh no, there you are. And then right past this farm, we've got these really nice fields. Kind of go up on a slope. Here is that big forest area that I mentioned. Then off in the middle of it, we've got a pond that just it all clears out, and we've got a little pond here. Really fun area to come and just chill out, and you can, well, just role play that you're taking the afternoon off and you went fishing. Here we have Field 21, and as I said, this is kind of, the trees are down in the low point of this field, and it is absolutely massive. What does this thing say? It's 50 acres in size, or sorry, 43 acres for the field. The farm land is 50 acres in size. So you can just kind of see how the low point is right here where the trees are. Then the final player farm that we're going to take a look at is here between fields 25 and 24. The access lane begins right here. And it kind of runs along this creek, stream, whatever you want to call it. Very, very small river. And a detail I pointed out in the early access first look is this area over here by field 24. You kind of can get the impression that maybe this was kind of washed out due to some flooding, and that's why the field border is so far removed from the creek. So we have a farmhouse, we have a farm silo, another silage bunker. Again, these base game buildings now have a even different siding color to them up here in this area. And then we have the large cow barn with manure heap. And then we're going to conclude our farm tour over here in the extreme northwest corner, and that's where we're going to find the farm shop, the vehicle shop. Right below here. go ahead and get our Mahindra. And the vehicles spawn in over here. We have this massive parking lot. Huge area. Absolutely huge area for your vehicles to spawn in at. We have our dealer trigger located right here. Now, we don't have the marker marks, right? I would like to have seen the markers marked here. But there you have a general idea of where that is going to be located. And we have a rather large area here for vehicles and machinery to come out of the shop. So we shouldn't have a big problem with buying large machinery and getting it out of the shop area and then on our way down to our farms. So I think we mentioned it, that due to the fact that we can't sell fabric or chocolate, we are going to give the map just 3/4 of a point with respect to being able to sell base game products, crops, and animal outputs. With respect to can the farms be customized? They can indeed be customized. They are very customizable, so we are going to give the map a full point on that regard. And there's only 2 areas where we actually have pavement. Up by the shop, where we just came from, and then down in town. The rest of the map is all gravel or dirt roads. Let's go ahead and turn in here, and we'll take a look at our first additional player farm. I think this map would be excellent for multiplayer. Now, it's not heavy on fields, but it does have a decent number of fields, and several of the viable farms do include land that includes fields already. But we've got 5 playable farms. We've got a biogas plant down there. So we could easily have this on a multiplayer server with 6 players, kind of all running their own farm. Somebody running the VGA, maybe somebody running a contractor yard out of the biogas plant. Just various thoughts and options on that. So we have our farmhouse. Nice little kind of removed garage, a little shed there. We've got our farm silo, base game farm silo. We have our 3-sided silage bunker. We do get a trigger for that. Then we have a really large bale shed or machine shed. We have a maintenance trigger inside. Then we have a large base game cow barn. Again, we don't really need to go over the details as to where all the triggers are for the base game animal pins. This cow barn is going to hold 80 cows. Then we have our manure heap, and that is a large cow farm up in the northwest corner of the map. Now, we've already taken a look at our starting farm, which is kind of toward the north center of the map. But this area here, I really like this little decorative treatment. Now we've got this kind of dirt area here. Not a whole lot of foliage. Not a lot of grass or shrubbery growing here. I mean, I just get the feeling that like this was washed out due to a heavy rain, wet season, and then this has just kind of become the new field edge over here. So made my way down to my personal favorite farm, which is down by field 30. Love to know down in the comments which one of these 5 playable farms are your favorite. Identifying by what field they are closest to. I have to say, if I ever get the opportunity or are given the opportunity, right, to farm field 21, I think I'm going to be all over that too, because I just like how that field lays. Got a thing for fields with trees kind of in the middle. Buildings where appropriate are using the new texture technique. They're all base game buildings. They're all from Elm Creek. So, of course, they're going to be using the new texture technique. I don't really have a problem with that. While I would like to see maps with custom buildings and everything, not everybody can build buildings in Blender or other 3D modeling apps. So I have no real problem with people using base game stuff. And like I said, I like how this map author has used these base game buildings and changed the siding color to give each farm its own unique feel, while at the same time making use of what is available to them. So here we have a base game farm silo. Then we have some silo extensions also connected here just to give it a little different look. Our massive machine shed. We then have our farmhouse with our sleep trigger. And then the custom cow pasture. So we've got double icons. Not really sure what the deal with that is. I don't recall seeing double icons on the early access version of this map. We have our 150 cow limit in this big outside pasture. We have our water trough, our food trough, and then our milk trigger up here. Let's just go ahead and take a look at our animals. And this is the one that we just bought. You can see that we do produce milk. We have water. We do not have slurry. We do not have manure there. So you see straw, slurry. So we don't need straw here. We do not produce any slurry for this outside pasture. And as far as this farm goes, field 32, 31, 30, and 16 are all part of the viable farm. The first farm that we looked at up in the northwest, that includes fields 24, 25, and 33. So here we have a 4th player farm. We have a farmhouse. And then this one includes a single meridian grain bin, as opposed to a silo complex. We have our red shed. We have a bale shed, machine shed there with solar panels. And remember, when you're looking for your collectibles, don't forget to look up. And part of Field 9 includes this other custom cow pasture. So we have our food trough, our water trough, our animal buy point. 250 cows in this particular outside pasture. And then let's see if this is a milk trigger. It is indeed. milk. Once again, we do not need straw, or will we be able to get slurry from the outside pasture? Which makes sense. I mean, when the cows do their biz, right? Are you really going out there and collecting the pies? Then it would produce manure. It wouldn't produce slurry because, well, you know, it just gets absorbed in the dirt. G-Force, we've got ourselves a maintenance trigger right here. We have our fuel station. Really do like when maps include these billboards, and these billboards will change. These are the same billboards that are on Elm Creek and Hope by the Rune and such, and they will change from time to time on their own. Got our farmers market, our grain sell point, our production sell point, bale sell point, and such. We have our grain sell point, our lime fill station. And then our stone crusher is also back in here. And then another detail that I really like specific to this map is the attention to detail. Things like this. We've got our sign out front, we've got landscaping, we've got a light here to light up the sign at night. Yeah, it just gives you the impression this is a place. This is a business. They want to attract people. They want to make it inviting. So we could take the road to the left, but we're just going to kind of drive down what I call Main Street. Here we have our grocery sell point. And again, we've got the attention to detail. We've got these kind of wildflowers planted along the wall here. Here we have Mama Joe's Diner, sell point. Our grain mill. We have our dump station. We have our interactive trigger. We have our pallet spawn point. Then we move on to the biogas plant. So we have a large three-sided silage bunker. We have our digestate, our dump station for slurry, our interactive trigger, and our digester. We have our dairy, and again, we've got really awesome signage. So we've got our rotating milk jug up there, custom signage. We have our interactive trigger around the front door. Customer parking in the front, business in the back. We have our pallet spawn point. We have our unload trigger to the side. The guardrail right there so you don't back up into the brick wall. Right beside that, we have our bakery. Again, we have our interactive trigger in the front. We have our pallet spawn point, our dump station to the back. Our carpentry, so we have our interactive point at the front door. Our log cell trigger and our log cell point around the back. The loading dock. And then our pallet spawn point at the side loading dock. Biomass heating plant, where once again we can sell logs, wood chips. We have our oil factory, our dump station, our pallet spawn point, interactive trigger in the back door there. We have our cereal factory. natural oil sign, the cereal factory. They kind of share this raised flower bed area. Just the details. Yeah. Just the minor details really bring the map together. So down here we have 2 pallet spawn points. We have our dump point. We have our interactive trigger. I just want to see. Pretty sure we had a pallet spawn point for the oil mill. Maybe your oil pallets spawn over here also. Let's just go check it out real fast. Yeah, we do have it marked there, so. We have our sawmill tucked away inside this little forest area. Really nice way to kind of bring the traffic into the sawmill. We have our log cell trigger, we have our log dump point, we have our pallet spawn point, and our interactive icon all right there. We have then our wood chips over here to the right. And then we can just kind of bring the traffic back out. Now we've got one more farm to look at, as well as the animal dealer. Head up to the last few areas. Let's talk about the player and interactive triggers being clearly marked. I do believe that they are. I don't have any reason to believe that they aren't from what they appear. So we're going to give this map a score of 4.75 out of 5. And the only reason it didn't get a 5 was the fact that it lacked the ability to sell fabric and chocolate. Was that intentional? Was it possibly a mistake? 4.75 versus 5, it's all good, right? We've seen lots of maps score somewhere between 4 to 4.5 to 4 3/4. So this map is right up there with some of the very best maps, in my opinion, as far as gameplay goes. Because again, remember, our scoring factor is all about FS22 gameplay. It's not about how I feel about the map. It's not how much I like the map. It's all about how the map works with respect to FS22 gameplay techniques. So here we have our animal dealer. They sell point for silage, as well as a bale sell point, I believe. Let's take a look. Bales and silage, and then we have our animal dealer itself. Over here. And then just over the hillside there, we have the final player farm. Once again with different buildings colors, siding colors, than any other farm that we have seen so far on this map. I love hearing your all's thoughts on this map. Do you like Backroads County? Is it a map that you're going to play? Is it now in your to get around a playlist? What maps are you putting down if you are going to play this map? What map are you retiring so you then slot this one into your gameplay? got our farmhouse. Once again, we have a small little detached kind of garage area there. We have a 3-vehicle garage. We have a large machine area with maintenance trigger. We have our silo complex. Our small cow barn. 45 cows. And then we have our manure heap, some more machine storage, and then 2 3-sided silage bunkers. So guys, that is going to do us for this video. Let me know what your all's thoughts are again on Backroads County. And I really want to constantly call this Backroads Country. Let me know. What do you think? What do you think? Should it have been named Backroads Country versus Backroads County? 2 half, 1 dozen another. Does it really matter? In the end, no. I just keep wanting to say Backroads Country. And until next time, happy farming.